Hiya, I hope this series on Joseph is going to be helpful for us as we just go through these early chapters in Genesis. Um, there's a couple of chapters that are all about the worst day in Joseph's life, as far as I can see. It's a story of betrayal. It's a story of being robbed, of mugged, being kidnapped, being sold as a slave and trafficked, and ending up in Potiphar's house. And the whole thing that struck me as I read it was the verse at the beginning of chapter 39 where it says that the Lord was with Joseph. And you just think, having gone through all of that, how can they say that? How can they say that God was with Joseph in the worst day of his life? And that just got me thinking about how so many of us have such horrible days, and you may want to expand it around the world just now with so many people in different parts of the world having the most horrible day, and how the Lord is with Joseph. And I just thought it would be a good opportunity for you tonight, or in this session, to think about some of the worst days of your life and how that how that's impacted your relationship with God. Because it's often when we are in the worst days of our life that we realize that God is with us, and that transforms our relationship with Him. Sometimes it's the worst day of our life when we walk away from faith or back off from faith. And if you're in the group, you're not going to have walked away, but you might well have backed off of intimacy with God. If there's any sense that God sent that, or God wanted that, then why would you love a God like that? And so we need to get clear in our heads that God doesn't send these difficulties, but He can use them. He can work in them, and that's the meaning of Romans 8:28, that God works in all circumstances. He doesn't send all circumstances, but He works in all circumstances for the good of those who love Him. And God is consistently wanting to work in those hardest of circumstances to bring the best for you, to comfort you, to strengthen you, to encourage you, to build resilience in you, to enable you to trust Him, to carry on and to do well. And that's what Joseph did. And so, because of his diligence and hard work and his faithfulness and his trust in God and his willingness to just get stuck in, he prospers in Potiphar's house. The Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered. I'm sure you'll have a great time as you talk about these things, and maybe able to share some of the hurtful times in your life and what God has done with those, what you've allowed God to do with those, and what you've seen of God as a result of those. Have a good time as you talk about this stuff. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.